This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
Oh my gosh. What else is going on this week?
Okay, so I am moving, as you guys
you
know.
are.
And so I was packing last night, and I always pack my books first just because it's like an easy thing
Correct.
to kind of get the ball rolling, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you do know the trick to packing books, right?
I don't know.
Okay. So books are heavy AF.
Yes.
You pack them in your suitcase because it has wheels.
That is smart.
You're welcome.
That is smart.
Oh.
I didn't do that. What I usually do is I do half books and then half clothes, like something lighter, so that it's
telling
not
you.
just like a giant box full of books.
So you're going to go home and repack, aren't you? Because that is a good trick.
Nah, because they're already they're sealed.
Okay.
Once the
All right.
deal
Once
is
the tape's
done,
on,
Once
you
the
know?
tape's on, it's done.
But
Yep.
still, not all of my books are packed yet, so I can do that for the remaining books that
There
I
you
have
go.
left. But
Hot tip. Coming in hot.
while I was packing my books, I found my diary from when I was 19.
Dear diary.
Girl.
Oh.
My chin is on my hand. Do
When
tell.
I tell you, it is the most cringe-worthy piece of text I have. It is a cursed document. It is so embarrassing.
I have one from around the same time. I double dog dare you to read a passage next week, and I can read one too.
Listen, I will
okay.
try to find. I have letters. Those are probably just as embarrassing.
Listen, it's all bad. I will not read the most cringeworthy shit in there, but
Girl.
I refuse. I'm not going to burn it because I really do value the nostalgia aspect of it. But if I could afford to put it in a safety deposit box where no one else could ever have access to it, I would.
It's like someday you die, and your
Yes.
great grandkids are like, Grammy left me the key
Yes.
to her safety deposit box. Let's see what kind of
look at money.
treasure and riches
It's gonna be so much
Grammy
money.
left. And they're pick this up. What the fuck?
It's just
the shit that Grammy worried
Dear
about.
diary.
I can't believe today my friend Stacy was just so mean to me.
100%.
Yes.
It's that bullshit.
Yes.
It's like getting into fights with friends
Yes.
over dumb shit
Yes.
and
Yep.
writing about it as if it is life
End of the world.
ending.
Yeah.
And it was the beginning of my relationship with my ex. And it's our first shit is in there. When I lost my virginity, I wrote it in there. It's when I say I'm horrified. I will for sure for you guys. I will for sure read a passage, but I am going to be highly selective.
Yeah. Christina, are you going to be as selective about what you read in yours? I think
probably.
Yeah.
Just because mine from that time was every couple of pages, I was literally in love.
Yes.
With somebody else.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing how many times I've found the one.
Yes.
In quotes.
Yes.
And I'm like, this one's different.
Man, I think there's something very much that I if I had a diary from that time, it would be so relatable to that. There was very much this part of me that was escapist for my family,
Yeah.
we're ready to get out. So
Oh,
I
yes.
was always looking
Yes.
for the one.
Yep.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. And I'm so glad I never did find the one until I really understood who I was. And that I didn't need a one, that I was
Correct.
the one.
Yes.
And
Well, I'm glad
so
you found it.
Yeah.
Found it early. It took me well into my 30s to stop searching
Hey.
for the one.
A
Yes.
timeline is just that. It's everybody's timeline is going to be different. And you know what? Everybody's hardships that lead them to that path. I would never want in a million years for you to have had the hardships that I've had to make me feel
Yeah.
that I needed to be grown up, but at 13,
Yeah.
or at 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's
you know?
also, it's so interesting to look back. I would encourage anybody who has access to their diaries at that
Yeah.
time to go back and read it, because as cringy as it is, first of all, if you think you haven't grown, go read your diary from
Yes.
that age and you'll
Yes.
be like, oh my God, I have grown so much as a human being. But also I was in that relationship with that guy for almost 4 years, and it ended badly. And it's so interesting to look back at the beginning of it and see
all the red flags.
All the red flags.
Yeah.
All the red flags. Just being like,
wow,
why did I was so immature and blinded, you know,
Sure.
like that.
That's amazing.
I wrote it all down. I wrote all of the red flags out in pen and still made the same mistakes I made. You know, it's just kind of fascinating to look
Girl,
at.
that is universal. Yeah. I mean, I have stacks on stacks on stacks from like 19 all through the shadow years, you know, in my 20s.
Girl. So you have you and your ex meeting, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you probably have all those red flags written in pen as well. Yep.
Oh my God. And so much poetry.
Oh my God.
Poetry on poetry.
Man.
Me too.
On poetry.
Not
I have poems.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh, you know
God.
what? I actually almost took a picture because, yes, you should share your poetry. Absolutely.
Yes,
but
we're doing that next week.
I almost took a picture because I also found another book that I had around the same time that wasn't a journal, but I would write like song lyrics in it or like my own poetry.
Yes.
Or like I would like tape things from magazines
Yes.
in it. And I did tape some Pirates of the Caribbean shit. So
Amazing.
good times.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had River Phoenix and Andrew Shue. I still have like my old. I did it in my photo album. So on the front cover, I decoupaged like you know, like a
Oh yeah. A
the crush
decoupage
board.
is
Yes,
great. I love
you
that.
know.
Like you cutting out your
Yep.
favorite celebrities, and then you have to
Get
find
that
just
Mod
the
Podge
right way.
paste.
Yes, Mod Podge was the best. And you have to find the right way
They
to
still
like
have some.
overlap.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
Like, so that you can see everyone.
That's right.
Oh,
Not
so
me.
good.
I'm too busy writing softcore porn.
Yes.
About
Listen, all of our art came out in different ways. I did not enjoy writing, so I did not write a book of memories down, but I did decoupage the shit out of everything.
Oh yes,
And I had some really, really poignant. I remember there's something that's such a poignant memory for me. I was very into art, so I drew a lot, and I was very much into. I really loved animals, of course, and I had this blue paper, and I used a white pencil to create like this wolf, and then I made it cry tears of blood.
oh,
And because I was like, wolves are dying, and like I don't know, like in my little 13-year-old head, I was like, you know, whatever age, like young teenage brain was like, maybe even younger than that, because this will lead you to the time period in which my dad found it and was like, what's this? Some kind of satanic shit?
oh, satanic panic.
And I was
no.
like, no, I was just like, it's a thought piece on, you know, of course I didn't say thought piece probably, but like my idea was like, I was trying to explain that it was like, you know, it was about sadness and animals dying and, you know, like, and he's
Trying to explain that
Burn
to
it.
Midwestern
Burn
dad.
yeah. I just remember it and I was just like, man, it was so crushing to me. Like for it to be so misinterpreted, like
you feel things so
Dude.
intensely in your teens. Like you feel things just, it's amplified to 100.
Yeah.
And you know what? I really do think that I want to start doing some kind of art for art's sake again. Because
Yeah.
I actually feel like that was so therapeutic, and it's something
Yeah.
that you lose when you get older if you don't like consciously make an effort. Like I decided I was going to start making and decorating a cake once a month because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of for the same reason. I was like,
Yeah.
I just need
It's your
something
art.
just for no other reason than I just want to create something pretty, you know, and like you should just make time in your adult life to do that.
yeah.
I have trouble, and the thing that I'm working through right now when I look at my other creative pursuits, like writing especially comes to mind, is there was an earnestness and an honesty that I used to write with.
Mhm.
Whereas now,
You're
as an
guarded.
adult, I'm judging the words before they even come out.
Yes.
So I feel like my early, like even my teenage, just as shitty writing as it is,
Yeah.
you can connect more with it because it's honest, it's raw, it's vulnerable, and it's universal.
That's right.
versus the stuff I am writing now is, you know, it's not going to
guarded.
You're
connect with
criticizing
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not completely honest, or I'm, you know, prejudging it and
You
shit
know,
like that.
I read a tweet by someone, and I wish I could remember who it was, but it said you're something like you're struggling because you're trying to please your audience.
Mhm.
Like if you could just be authentic, you would get unstuck basically
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever. If you're in a rut creatively, oftentimes it's because you're trying to anticipate
Yes.
what's good or what people want from you.
That's
Right.
You
right.
know, whereas if you were just honest, you would most likely get out of that like really stuck place.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and create something worth creating usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is making me want to go home and dig into those diaries.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited for this
Yeah.
project. Okay.
Oh man.
Next
All right.
next week we're all sharing a little piece.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
Yes, I will be selective as well.
It's gonna be fun. Well,
Uh.
I have something else that's going on this week that has made me think of some stuff.
Okay.
Can we talk about Bennifer 2.0?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
It's-
It was on my list.
It's in action.
Is in action, and it made me think. I was like, okay, listen, when you're going through a tough breakup,
It's yeah.
who's the person that you go to? I'm
Comfort.
like, I don't think that they're together as a comfort or as a
yes.
thing anymore. I think it's more of like,
This is easy.
yeah. It's just the rebound person that
Yeah.
you go to, or
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're bonded with this, but you know, it reminds you of who you were before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and before you changed and grew in a bunch of different ways. And that person does know you in a way that nobody else is going to know you because they knew you the closest at a very specific moment in your life.
Right.
You know, I heard that they reconnected via email. That he emailed
Amazing.
her like after A-Rod, just basically being like, hey, you know, just thinking about you.
Yeah.
Zombied up. If you
He's
need
like,
anything.
hey girl, what's up?
Yeah,
and
he
she
did.
jumped on that shit right away, I guess.
She's like, why not?
I'm kind of here for it. You know, I think Cassie and I talked about it on a stereo where it's just like, you know what? Maybe this is what needed to happen.
Yeah.
They needed to go out, live their own lives.
Come back.
I think
find
it's,
each other.
I think it's short lived. I think
Okay.
it's a rebound. You're
Sure.
comfortable with each other. You know, obviously, like that's the cynical part of me. I was like, if
Yeah.
it didn't work out before, it's not going to work out. Like,
But
now.
they're different
Bah, bah,
people
bah.
now.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm thinking it's more of a comfort rebound thing. Get your confidence back, Stella. Get your groove back
Yeah.
before she's moving on to somebody else.
Speaking of
Mark Anthony.
back to Mark,
Just keep going.
yeah,
Just
down. She's gonna end up back with Chris Judd. Remember that guy? Like she married like first.
Yes.
Speaking of like breakups, John Mulaney and his
Oh,
wife
Yeah.
man.
filed for divorce, and now
I feel sad about
he's
that.
with Olivia Munn. Did
Yep.
you hear that?
I
It's-
know.
And I guess she was like a super fan of his. Like, you know, people went back and read this like interview that she gave where she met him at a wedding where he was there with his wife, and she gave an interview where she was just like, I was just so like in awe. Like I'm just such a big fan, and I kept putting my foot in my mouth because I kept like talking to him all night, and then I sent him an email later and he never wrote me back, and I'm like,
Listen,
oh.
dating somebody at the beginning of a divorce,
And
especially
recovery.
in recovery, I'm like, girl,
Listen.
tread lightly.
Yeah.
That is a lot of luggage. You
It
know, not
is.
to say that it never works out, but it's hard. I know what I
Guys.
was like.
Yeah.
You know, it's ugly.
Yeah. I mean, feel free to cut this out if you want, but I've known people who've gone through recovery, didn't make it out of recovery, et cetera, et cetera. And fresh out of recovery is not the time you start a new
well,
relationship.
they tell you not to.
I know.
Like they
it just
say,
feels really tough.
don't make any big life decisions.
Like divorcing your
and
wife and going.
divorcing your wife and immediately getting into a new relationship. And I don't know, the
man.
relationship thing is kind of a rumor at the moment,
Yeah.
like that he's with her. But it made me so sad because
She is devastated.
the wife is
Yeah.
devastated. Like
Oh,
she made
I
a
just
statement
feel-
where she said, you know, I'm heartbroken that John has chosen to end our marriage, but I wish him all the best.
Yeah.
Like, so clearly it wasn't like a mutual
Sad.
decision that they came to together,
Yeah.
you know, and I really like John Mulaney. I've seen him live a couple
Hilarious.
times. He's incredibly talented. He's very funny, and I do hope that like he's able to, you know, recover and everything.
Yes. Yeah, I do wish his recovery well. I do wish him
Amen.
well. I have nothing. I have no
Yeah.
reason not to have any, you know, negative feelings. I do. I mean, like this
Absolutely.
recovery is fucking tough, but that's to my point. It's a tough time, and you are going through a lot physically, emotionally, mentally. It is so nuanced and layered to come out of a recovery
And start a brand new dynamic with someone.
Yeah.
Is, yeah.
It's not actually even fair, I don't think, to the person that you are starting something new with.
Yeah.
If and of course,
If
of
that's
course,
happening, yeah.
Of course, you know, speculative. I don't personally know him, Dr. Fossil.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. No, but it seems like there's just a lot of that in the air. And I don't know if it's like COVID things opening up again, people being like, goodbye. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's a little bit of both, right? So you have people who are hooking, like connecting, like Bennifer, and then, you know, disconnecting and reconnecting. And it's a lot of movement going on.
a lot of moving parts.
The thing
We're going
that
to see a lot of that.
I saw was Kat Dennings and Andrew WK announced their engagement. How
Love to
fucking
see it.
cute are they?
I actually do think
they
they're
get
cute.
couple.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't even know that they were dating.
Me
I
neither.
think it's so cute.
Me too.
I like both of them.
It's one of those couplings where you're like, yes, this
I see it.
this makes sense.
It's weird and
You
I
know?
love it.
Yeah,
versus,
it's weird in the
like,
best way.
Weird in the
Elon
best
Musk
way.
and Grimes,
And
where
you're
you're
like, that's weird in the
wait,
weirdest way.
I don't understand.
I don't
That
love
doesn't fit.
it, but I do see it.
You see
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I
you're like,
don't
I get it.
see it.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
I feel like Grimes has gotten weirder since
Yeah.
since they've been together. Like, I mean, not that she was always weird, but she was kind of like cool, interesting, weird. And then I didn't see it when they first got together because of that. I was like, she's so much cooler than him. I don't get this. And then the more she talks,
you're
I'm
like,
like,
she's
oh
not.
no, you're just pretty. That's it.
Weird. Pretty weird. Well, who should we fuck, marry, kill this week? Okay, first we need to talk about this before we go into fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Because apparently
It's a problem.
it is a okay. So there was a photo shared on our group chat this week of Seth Rogen, who has been sporting a different look. He has shaved his beard and he has a mullet.
He's lost a ton of weight.
He's lost a ton of weight, and I was here for it.
Listen,
And-
I almost gagged
I
when you said that.
I feel like, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I feel like not, but like I feel like generally, like
Yeah.
Seth Rogen can kind of get it. Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
I like the beard.
disagree.
Well,
And I like a guy with like a beard and stuff like that, but I was here for clean shaven.
Cassie,
Cassie, when you post the episode details, please include this photo.
Okay. Let me write a note for myself because I have the worst memory on the planet.
I'll also put it as a poll in our Instagram stories.
It's terrible.
Because
It's full terrible.
Come at me. I think I actually, I'll be honest here. I think I personally gravitate towards a clean shaven face.
so do I, though. That's the thing. Like, I'm actually not the biggest
Not me.
beard fan in the world, but like on Seth Rogen. And by the way, it's not
That's
just
our fuck, marry, kill right there. Hottest beard.
it's not just beard or no beard on
Okay.
Seth Rogen.
Okay.
It is. He
looks-
has a mullet
and no
he is-
glasses. No glasses fucks me up
and he's
too.
wearing clothes that looks like he came
It's
out of
gotta be for a
1991.
character.
It's from
gotta
the
be
movie
for
that you
a
just
movie.
talked about.
Oh, it's from the Pam and Tommy movie.
Yeah, it's
okay.
from that movie. That's why I'm bringing it up because I was like,
it is tragic.
It's-
I hate it so much.
It's horrible. I don't love it.
See, and that's when I'm like, I see like his face and the mullet and the clothes were just like, I could see that was for the character. I'm like, let me see that motherfucker in a suit. You'll be singing a different tune. If we can find another picture
I
of
have
him,
another picture of him.
clean shaven. All right, bring it up. Bring it up.
Here's the thing. I might, if he could get his glasses back, cut off the mullet, and put on a suit, I might be able to get on board with the clean shaven. But the whole look is a bad look. It is a bad
It ain't good.
look.
It's not. It's not. It literally grosses me out. Like the picture right away that pops up
I
is just
hate
it
it.
just grosses.
I like
me.
it.
Oh no.
He looks. What the?
He looks so different. Can we say that?
Okay.
See?
Oh, no. Okay.
Listen,
No, listen.
minds are being changed.
Listen. I just
You heard
want
it here
mine to be
first.
You
changed
haven't
so
got
bad.
there.
Anywho, so celebs with beards.
Okay.
Hottest beards. We're going to go with, I have to say, dude, Google is coming through big time. Because you've got David Beckham. You've got Charlie Hunnam.
Jake Gyllenhaal with a beard.
Charlie Hunnam is
my birthday twin. We've definitely used
Jason
him
Momoa.
Oof.
That beard.
Ryan Gosling with
Joe
a beard.
Manginello.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks good with a beard.
Fuck yes.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like a beard makes a big difference on Drake.
Okay.
It does.
It does.
Makes
It's
a big
different.
difference on him.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Okay, so everybody pick a beard. I'm going
Pick
with
a beard.
I'm going with Charlie Hunnam.
Okay. Oh man, this is kind of hard. Yeah,
Brad
because I
Pitt
feel
with
like
a beard is hot.
I feel like we've done Drake before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go real. I'm gonna go off real to the left,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Joaquin Phoenix
Okay.
because he's been doing the beard thing for a while now.
He has.
Okay.
In various
In various stages.
degrees of
God, Chris Hemsworth with a beard is fucking hot too. He's just hot in everything. Beard, no beard. Clothes, no clothes.
This is who you're picking.
I know. I don't want to.
yeah.
I'm definitely going Joe Manginello.
Manginello?
Yes, yep. That's
Manginello.
Manginello. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
He's is he with the
Sofia
chick
Vergara?
from yes. And
And I love them together. I think they're so cute.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I think
Good.
he's so good looking. He was in Mike.
He's
Magic
the
Mike.
good looking, yes.
So good looking.
Okay, so we have Joaquin Phoenix,
Okay. Thank you for
Oh my
making this
gosh.
easy for us.
Joe Manginello, and
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam. Oh, well, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
You have two. Okay.
Okay.
This is
I
actually,
definitely know what I'm gonna do.
I think for me, I'm literally marinating in this right now, and this is a harder choice.
You know
for
I like
me
making mistakes.
than
Yeah.
I want to be honest about.
Me too.
Me too. Now I'm also.
I'm like, oh
Because
shit.
here's the thing. Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking weirdo, but I would love to go on one date with
Yeah.
that guy. I
Yeah,
would go
where I'm
on
like-
one date with Joaquin Phoenix because I bet you it's gonna be the weirdest,
Yeah.
but most
Yeah.
interesting date of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina, you have to go on a date with him because he's gonna talk to you about
We're
Oh,
gonna talk
man.
about aliens for all night long.
Lizard people.
We connected so much on the weirdest shit that we didn't even have time for sex.
Yeah, your minds have
Yeah.
plugged in on a cerebral, you're just
Yeah.
connected, plugged into each other. That's the
see
kind of date you're gonna have with Joaquin Phoenix. I feel like I feel like he's very aloof, but I feel like when he turns his attention onto you, his attention is fucking
very
on you.
intense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is appealing.
I know. I in my head because I
know,
was like,
it's not right.
because I'm marrying Charlie Hunnam.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
He seems like his accent
Mm.
is.
Honey.
You love a make a wrong choice too, because that's another Aries for you.
Oh my
I'm
god!
telling you,
I
birthday
know,
twin.
I know, but
then
oh
you're marrying
my
me.
God. Yeah, hopefully he's the fun, silly Aries type,
Yeah.
not the narcissist
Brooding
type that I was used to
narcissist,
from
yeah.
the last time. So yeah, I'm gonna marry Charlie Hunnam because he seems fun.
Yeah.
I can
And he's
hold
hot.
on to him on the back of a motorcycle, and he'll smell like motor oil and sex. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is
And
hard.
pipe tobacco for some reason.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't smoke a pipe, but he just has that weird pipe tobacco smell.
Under-
He smells like tobacco in the good way.
yeah, right,
yeah.
right.
Tobacco and leather. Yeah.
And then, I gotta fuck Joaquin Phoenix.
mean,
what is wrong with me?
I don't
But,
know. Mistakes
yeah.
are
I don't
being
hate
made.
it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, there's something about him that I feel like would be a very intense.
I see it for
night.
you.
I don't even want necessarily to fuck Joaquin Phoenix. I just want to have a night with Joaquin Phoenix. Like, I just want to go on a date. I want to go on a date at like a rooftop wine bar.
Yeah.
In like the private room.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
I see it. And it's like this, like open air, and it's one of those balmy summer nights.
Yeah,
where
it's
you can
EPLP. You're at the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have like a kind of quiet corner that's been cordoned off.
Gosh, this is hard too, because I actually think Joe Manginello, I think that's how you say his last name.
Manginello.
Manginello. That's it.
Wow. It'd be really hard to say my last name.
Well, we know what you're doing. I actually agree. I think that him as a husband, he seems so sweet with Sofia Vergara, and he seems really funny
and
in
cute
interviews.
together. Yeah.
And usually, people who are that good looking don't seem
He
as
is
like funny.
ridiculously good looking.
And he's so funny.
Objectively am saying he's the most good looking of the
three.
bunch.
Sure.
Agree.
And maybe that's the reason why I was like, kill him.
But you see,
You're like, I
see,
can't.
I can't.
that's also where I'm at, where I'm like,
Are you too good looking?
I'm like, you're with one of the most beautiful
She is
women
gorge.
ever on the planet.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not his fault. He would treat me like a queen and he'd do everything in his power to make me feel
like
beautiful and sexy. But my own deep insecurities, I don't know if I could get around it to be married to him.
My deep narcissism lets me understand that I deserve it.
There you go.
There you go. Which is how you should approach that situation.
And then when I'm in it, I'm like, what have I done? I don't deserve this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it makes it really hard. But you know what? I'm going to choose to have a little bit of faith in myself, and I'm going to give it a shot. I am going to marry him. I'm going to marry Joe.
He seems like a faithful guy. He seems like a guy who really does care.
Yeah.
He's so funny. The funny is what gets me.
Charlie Hunnam marrying him, I think, was a mistake because he is definitely, he's got side pieces for sure.
Of the three, I think he's
he's
the
like,
most
I'm
likely.
going off to shoot a movie.
He has showmances for sure. Yeah. And that's what makes this next choice difficult, right?
Okay.
Because I don't want to marry Charlie Hunnam, but one night with Charlie Hunnam would be
fire, literally.
wow. Yes.
We're setting the
bed on
sheets
fire and walking away. You know what I mean? But then it's everything that I said about Joaquin Phoenix. But I guess in the context of this game,
I think Charlie Hunnam would be more physical
yes,
than Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix.
So I am going to fuck Charlie Hunnam. And Joaquin, while I really want to go on a date with you, I actually don't feel like a physical
attraction.
like I need I want to have sex with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kill Joaquin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to blow all your minds.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, I think we all know who I'm going to marry, so that one won't blow your mind. I'm going to marry Joe Manginello. Why? Because he's fucking hilariously funny. He makes fun of himself, which adds 3 extra points to the hotness layer.
And he needs any more. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
and he need more, right?
ugh.
But strong, tall, confident. I'm here for it.
I like
T to B.
I like the idea that he could literally with one arm throw me over his
Yeah, he
shoulder.
could.
You know?
And how. So that's a no-brainer for me. Like, I just think that he's dead sexy and also very down to earth. Like, he's going to be your grill out guy. He's got shrimp on the babby outside by the pool, and he's like, put your feet up, babe.
Yeah.
I'll get you a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I'm here for that life. I'm here for that. Now, I'm going to fuck Joaquin.
Okay.
And I know this.
Spoiler alert.
I know this is blowing your mind. Here's something you don't know about me. I have had a deep crush on Joaquin Phoenix forever.
Secrets revealed.
Yes. All the things you've said. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's smart. I feel like he's intelligent. He's just a little weird. He's a little off kilter. He's a little outside the norm.
Yeah.
He's a little bizarre, and I like that, which is why I'm attracted to you two. Because you are just nerdy enough to stay in my, you know what I'm saying? Like, really get my nerdiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I had written in my diary, like, you young lasses had. What you would find is really deep, nerdy one-liners and dumb stuff and weird quotes and quips that wouldn't make sense to anyone. I remember, in fact, I have a letter from an ex-boyfriend that he brought up some weird thing that we had between us, and it was like I think about Beck, and like weird quirky stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the weird quirky level that I like. Now here's the other thing. I think that he could be romantic in bed, which is gross to me. But I also think that he could try some weird stuff in bed with me, and I like that.
I think he'd be open to a lot of stuff.
Open. I think he's very open to trying new things. And I'm here for that.
Put on the Captain Jack Sparrow
He
outfit.
would.
Without even a second thought.
He'd be like, absolutely.
Okay.
Chad. Okay. Charlie Hunnam. Wow. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Stunning piece of human.
Yes.
We do have the same birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I do know how I am in bed, which is that I am very one-sided. And I think it would be very it wouldn't be good.
Oh no.
Someone's losing out on that bet.
Oh
in bed. And
I'm gonna have to do a lot of work with my husband.
Yeah. No, yeah, for yourself.
Yeah.
Because once he's done, I know me. And that shit gets real boring. Like, are you done yet?
Still making bad
it's either going to be that or you guys are going to like beat each other up. It's like come out with
that's
bruises.
true. I mean, we can't. It's not going to be good.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know we do have some new patrons, and also get in under the wire. This is My Worst Date podcast. I'm Christina.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Cassie.
What's up? So we do have a new patron. So we want to give a big shout out and thank you to Lena Fostel. Thank you for joining us on Patreon. We will get your rewards out to you ASAP. Let us know what you think of our new Tainted Love movie episode, Cocktail. We had a very fun time.
So fun.
Recording that one. So
and keep on the lookout because next month is Obsessed, which I am very excited to watch, starring Beyonce and Ali Larder. Mwah. So you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
Cool.
What's up, everybody? Okay, do you guys know that even if we all ate the same and exercised the same, that we would all still look completely different? I'm Lacey Green. I'm a super trainer with Body. That's BODI.com. I'm telling you, this is something that you need in your life. The app isn't just about having a perfect body, because what is that anyway? It's about what we call health esteem. Feeling good about yourself right now, just as you are, as you work on the person you are becoming. Using Body's tools to find your version of happy and healthy. Body isn't just some software. It's people. It's trainers, nutrition, and mindset experts, and a community of other people just like you and me. And they even have my program for beginners only, which you have to try even if you've never worked out a day in your life. I'll get you off the couch and started on day 1, finding the joy and dropping the judgment. And don't take my word for it. You can try it for free right now for 14 days at body.com. That's body with an I.com. Let's get up, get moving, and feel good. Whoop, whoop.
And we're back. All right, Cassie.
Okay. I'll start us off. Okay, this story came to us through our email, and it's fun because it's not specifically a bad date, but it definitely relates to what we talk about all the time on the podcast, and it's called Weird Breakup Letter.
Oh, I love breakup stories. I really do.
I'm here for it.
So she starts out, I'm not sure if the story will be in My Worst Date's wheelhouse, but I don't know what else to do with this, and I need to share it with someone. So here we go.
Okay.
I hope you all find the humor in this like I did. I met a guy on Hinge, and a little over a month later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Part of me knew that I wasn't at the point in my life where I wanted a relationship yet, but I also knew that I never give love a chance or whatever. So I ignored those whatever. So I ignored those little thoughts and reluctantly agreed.
Cass, did you write this story into
real?
yourself? Is this you?
No. It could be. It turned out I knew myself better than I thought, and 2 weeks later I broke up with him. I knew this would upset him, but I didn't know how much it would upset him. I was careful to be honest with how I felt while also considering his feelings. I told him that I recognized that we wanted different things and I wasn't able or ready to give him what he was looking for. He did not take this well. Which leads me to a 3-page letter that he emailed me a few days later.
Sir.
The first page consisted mostly of a list of things.
Wait.
Pause.
3-page letter. Did you say that he mailed it? Emailed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still,
Better.
I mean,
No,
it's
but better.
because it's like, yeah, you didn't have to go find an envelope and a stamp.
And a stamp.
And a, post
Handwritten.
office or, yeah.
You had to walk to the end of your street.
Open the thing.
Yeah,
Wait.
But still, three
pages
is excessive.
It's
my
a lot.
Dude.
The first page consists mostly of a list he threw together of, quote, things we have in common. Apparently, he interpreted me saying we wanted different things as we don't have enough things in common.
Oh, honey.
Not only did his list show that we
Was he
barely...
19? Because
Right.
I'd like to read his diary. Because I bet you he's cringing as well.
Yes, probably. Not only did his list show that we barely knew anything about each other, but there are a few things that are so absurd I almost screamed. I can't wrap my head around the fact that he thought this would convince me to stay in a relationship with him. Here they are.
Oh,
no.
I can't wait. Okay.
Oh, no.
Commonality between Violet and Tyler.
Oh, no. He's 19. He's got to be. This is a baby, right?
See, he should have made a pitch deck. It would have worked if he had made a pitch deck.
deck.
If PowerPoint, he's
Yeah,
got
he's got a whole PowerPoint.
presentation.
He gets into Canva.
Yes. Yes.
Got animation, graphics.
Yeah. It starts with appreciation for Todd. That's my dog.
Okay.
Weed.
Oh, no.
Politics. In general, learning new things about each other. Planning trips, which leads into traveling. Being outdoors in nature. Going on hikes and
Can
walks.
I just say, most of these things are things that
Anybody. Right.
most people like.
Yeah.
They're not
Right.
anything you build a relationship
No,
around.
you do not build a relationship around weed.
Yes. No.
It's not a personality
No.
trait.
Or liking to be outside.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not
Or
enough.
camping.
It's not enough.
Reality TV. Midday naps. Another
Oh.
relationship builder.
Dude,
A
who
good nap.
doesn't like a fucking afternoon nap?
I feel like you're going to find somebody based off of these. Both of our favorite color is green.
Oh, okay. Because that's the color of outside.
Playing games. Rap and pop music. Scrolling through social media. Sex. ...
Oh my God.
Drinking with each other. Staying up late and ... sleeping in. LOL.
Oh,
I'm just reading this exactly how I feel like it should be read.
Honey.
Budgeting.
What? That one I really do feel like came out of left field.
Sincerely appreciating our friends and what they do for us. Caring for our family, even if they annoy us at times. Doing thoughtful acts for one another. And finally, we overthink. We're anxious quite often. This has led
That's
to
not
our
an argument.
current problem, I think.
Yes, that's not
Listen.
an argument to being together. Like, we both have anxious brains.
Now I'm getting
Okay.
pissed off. Now I'm getting upset.
Okay.
Because this motherfucker thinks that, okay, so they've known each other a month and 2 weeks at this point.
Sure.
And this guy is trying to come at her and being like, I know all this stuff about you. This would actually irritate me. Because
Yeah.
I'd be like,
You don't know me at
motherfucker,
all.
you don't know me at all.
Right.
At all. I'm like, you don't know at this point that I like hum in my sleep. Quite frequently, or, that I leave bobby pins fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like all these like little things. It annoys me that this is
is the
very
list. Yeah.
presumptive. And it's also like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of insulting.
A little bit,
In
yeah.
that
This list could apply to
it's very basic, right? Yeah.
any number of people. Like,
True.
this doesn't feel, I would be annoyed because I'm like, this doesn't necessarily feel specific to me. This is all stuff you can learn about someone via their online profile or on a first date. Like, this is not any kind of like deep information. And also it could apply to what? Like 50% of the population.
And she gave him a very like thought out, thoughtful like breakup. So he's basically saying like, no, you're wrong. Like your opinion, you're wrong. Let me convince you
that we're going to get back together.
No.
Well, and it is very presumptive. It's all very basic, like surface shit, right?
Yeah.
You like traveling. Okay. Who doesn't?
A lot
honestly?
of people like, you know.
Yeah. It's just so stupid.
We have a common love for your dog. It's like, yeah, it's my dog.
And it's a dog. Who doesn't like dogs?
I don't know. Some people do.
Well, that's wrong. They're just, I guess, entitled to their wrong opinion. Anyway, she says, thanks for all that you ladies do. I've never looked forward to Wednesday like I do now.
Aww.
Your worsty, Violet.
Aww. Thank you, Violet. That was absolutely in our wheelhouse.
Letter. Ugh. Oof.
With lists.
Have you ever gotten a breakup letter? Have you ever given a breakup letter? I feel like I haven't.
So no, I tend to be a very I like a good face delivery. I mean, depending. It also, again, I think we've talked about this before, but I think it depends on
how long
nature of a relationship.
Together.
Right.
Yeah, I've broken up via phone before, but it wasn't like a serious relationship. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Okay. I am going to share a story that I shared on one of our stereo talks that I just felt like had to go out to the entire My Worsty.
Agree. And you know what? I'm not going to say it yet. You go ahead.
This story, I'm not going to ruin it by revealing the title. I'll just go ahead and get started. So he writes, I don't even know where to start with this. I'm dumbfounded. She just stormed out of the house, and I'm sitting on the bed asking myself a lot of questions. I live a pretty normal life, and I thought so did my girlfriend.
Pretty normal life.
We've been together for a few months, and after things got serious, we moved in together. We started sharing a lot of the household responsibilities, but the one thing she was adamant on doing was the laundry. She would come home and find me in the bedroom getting laundry together and would quickly ask me to go do something else. I'd come back to finish the laundry, and she would already have started it. I always thought it was sweet and never her job to do it alone, but hey, if it makes her happy to do it all the time, I'm not going to stop her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hate doing the laundry. I have to do a load today, and I am not looking forward to it.
It's my least favorite chore.
I hate it.
It's
Same.
The worst. I'll do dishes every single day. Don't mind doing dishes. I hate laundry.
Luckily, Anthony likes doing the laundry. So I'm like, fantastic. I like this man. Would not question it. That's fine.
Sounds great.
This is where it takes a turn for the weird. I keep all of my socks and underwear in the bottom drawer of my dresser. I also go to the gym frequently, so I always keep a good supply of clean gym socks ready to go. I never kept count, but I know by just a visual glance, I own several pairs. This morning, when I went to grab a fresh pair to pack for the gym, I noticed there were several dress socks, but no gym socks. Again, not weird.
You don't want to go to the gym with dress socks.
No.
Thin ass.
No.
Just sliding around. Yeah. Again, it's not weird. They must have been in the laundry. So I go check the laundry basket. It's empty. I check the washing machine and dryer. Both were empty. I couldn't figure out where all of my gym socks had gone.
Mystery.
So I did the very natural thing of asking my girlfriend what happened to them. After all, she's the one who does the laundry all the time. She went silent, turned red, and ran out of the room.
A totally normal reaction.
Completely.
Hey, babe, have you seen my socks? Kool-Aid Man's through the wall.
Exactly.
When I went after her to see if she was okay, she wouldn't talk to me. I told her I'm not mad. I'm just looking for my socks. She kind of mumbled, I don't know. I still wasn't mad, of course, but I was super confused. Socks just don't disappear. So I asked her again, even laughed about it, and she just looked at me and got mad and said, I'll buy you new ones.
Oh.
My first thought that went through my head was that she had somehow managed to destroy my socks while washing them. And I thought the sight of that was actually pretty funny. So I joked with her about ruining my socks. Wrong thing to say.
Can you imagine being in this situation?
No.
Like, it would be so bizarre. Like, you're like, what's happening?
What's happening? Why are you? What's that? She starts immediately crying, like full on sobbing. At this point, I don't care about the socks anymore.
Fuck them socks.
I want to know what's wrong with my girlfriend. I sat down next to her on the bed and put my arm around her and asked her if she was okay. She just kept saying she was sorry and that she would buy me new socks. I tried assuring her again it was okay, even went so far as to say I would buy new socks and she didn't have to. I sat with her for a few minutes trying to calm her down and eventually had to get ready for work. I told her I loved her.
I want
got
to see
my
her
things
diary
together
entry of this situation. Her diary.
to leave for the day. On my way out, I grabbed the garbage to take outside. When I got outside, I lifted the lid off the garbage can and I noticed a small plastic bag sitting on top of the garbage already in there. I could see through the bag, kind of like the semi-see-through ones, that there were socks in there. Since I was sure she somehow managed to ruin socks washing them, I wanted to see the damage for myself. I opened the bag and immediately regretted my choice. There, inside the bag, were several pairs of my gym socks covered in poop. Number 1, we don't own any pets. Number 2, we don't have any kids. Number 3, whose poop was on my socks?
You know the answer, sir.
Deep down, you know, sir.
Look inside yourself.
The answer's always been there.
It's been there all along. Work could wait. That's my favorite line. Where you're like,
You text your boss, you're like, look, something came up. I'll be there when I'm there.
Yeah, get there ASAP, but I got some shit to handle.
this is
literally.
I'm taking a personal day.
Just don't ask any questions, listen.
Please.
I need a mental health day.
I couldn't go the rest of the day wondering why my gym socks were covered in
Listen.
poop and inside a plastic bag in the
Would have
garbage
done the
can.
same thing. You got to march back in that house.
I need to know.
We have questions. So many questions. I grabbed the bag and walked back inside. As soon as my girlfriend saw the bag, she flipped out and started yelling at me. She said I shouldn't be going through the garbage and that I was disgusting for bringing it back in the house.
Ma'am, disgusting's a big word to be
I
throwing
really
around
feel
in
like
this situation.
thrown around real loosely here.
Yeah.
I asked her to calm down and that I just wanted an answer as to why there was poop on my socks. I wasn't blaming her of anything, but she started accusing me of blaming her. That's when it clicked. I don't know what it was that led me to ask this, but everything leading up to this moment had been just so intense. I asked her, "Is this your poop?" She started sobbing again and ran out of the house.
This would be so embarrassing.
Oh my God.
So embarrassing.
So I ended up having to leave for work. And yes, I threw away the bag of poopy socks. She texted me back and she's clearly embarrassed, but felt that she owed me an explanation. She said she didn't want to talk about it in person and that we could discuss it over texting, but to not bring it up in person. I'm condensing the conversation and filling in some gaps as best I can. Her responses are super short, but I'm getting the idea. I flat out asked her if it was a fetish. It's not a fetish. She confessed to using the socks after going to the bathroom. I found the reason she always does the laundry is because she was hiding the fact that she uses socks to wipe with, primarily her own. I had no reason to question the amount of socks she ever has because who pays attention to that kind of thing? She thought I wouldn't notice and think it was weird since she doesn't own many socks. She admitted she has done this for a long time, and her reasoning, as best as I can understand it, is that because she's a germaphobe, her word, she is afraid toilet paper will tear and is afraid of getting her hands messy in any way.
Okay.
Socks
I'm sorry.
are not waterproof
Yeah,
or
first of all,
poop-proof.
yeah, there's a knit to socks. It
Yeah.
would be better just to wear gloves. Like, why
Gloves.
not buy
A
like
box of gloves.
Yeah, disposable gloves. Bad for the planet, but in this
Bidet.
situation, Or
bidet.
if you're a germaphobe, help me process this.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you are washing the socks and then reusing the socks. Are you also wearing the socks that you have used
Are you putting
previously?
these socks in with other laundry?
Yeah, like I have
Is your poop mingled now with?
questions?
Yeah, I don't know why she's doing the laundry because it says she uses socks because it covers her entire hand. And after she's done with them, she throws them away.
Yeah, so why?
Maybe she's doing laundry to hide the fact that there's
She
no
doesn't have
fucking
any
socks
socks?
in there.
Why socks? This feels so weird to me. Like, because like you could buy, I don't know, they make the flushable wipes
Yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Like wear gloves. Like I feel like there are other things rather than socks. And especially, I also don't want to use someone's gym socks, even if they've been washed, on my ass. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, I feel like there's sweaty gym
Yeah.
sweat particles.
Yeah. No, they're not going to smell good.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Well, he ends it with, and this is the most chill motherfucker
On the planet,
On
yeah.
the planet. So my girlfriend has a fear of getting poop on her hands, and she wipes with socks, and has done so for a long time. It could be worse, I guess. I hope we can laugh about this later. I'm trying to find the humor in it now, but I'm a little weirded out.
He's like, I smoked a whole joint.
Yeah.
And then wrote
you
this.
know, I mean, listen, in the grand scheme of things, we've definitely read stories about relationships that were worse or weirder or just bad.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst thing, but it is very
isn't
strange.
great.
And also, like, if you're moving in with someone, don't you want to deal with this before you move in with somebody? Like,
Absolutely. I was just going to say, it's like one of my favorite stories. Like, we are all fucking weird.
Yes.
Everybody's
100.
a weirdo.
Yeah.
Why am I so excited that I get to be by myself tonight?
yes.
Because I'm going to do weird shit by myself.
That's right.
Anthony has been out of town for a week, and while I do miss him and I'm excited that he's coming home tomorrow, I love that I can just like take off my pants and leave them on the counter.
Yeah.
Like do whatever I want. You know
On
what I
the
mean?
counter. Yes.
Yes, anywhere, strewn about the house. You know what I mean? Like
But everybody's got their weird thing that they do, and you like look at them and you're like, you do
That's
that?
weird.
That's like Eric with the flossing things. He'll like floss like with the plastic flosser thing anywhere. Like he has a bag of them, and he'll be around the house doing other stuff, and then he'll just set it down on the
Nope.
thing.
No, ma'am.
And I'm like,
Please
it
put your
literally
crumbs in the trash.
makes me want to like peel my skin off. And for me, I'm like, there's hair ties and bobby pins
Everywhere.
in the weirdest places.
yeah,
Like,
at least once a day, I think that there's a spider on the floor, and it's
it's
just
bobby
my
pin.
hair. It's just a curl that's
Yeah.
just tumbleweeding around my apartment. You know what I mean? So yeah, but like if you have something that's that odd, like I feel like the bobby pin thing, even the flossing thing, while
Yeah.
weird, I mean, it's not a habit that is so outside of the cultural norm.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? Like if you have something that is that strange, like wiping with socks
Yeah.
and throwing them away, and something that could easily be found by a partner.
yeah.
Like you either need to work that shit out before you move in or
Yeah.
have a conversation.
Yeah.
This
Like
guy
something-
seems like he's pretty chill about it,
Yes.
to be honest.
And
luckily.
again, a box of gloves could really remedy.
a lot about this.
I'm just saying a
Agreed.
bidet. I've been looking into it.
Yeah.
They have attachments. you
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That clean butt action.
Get up in that booty hole. Okay.
That's what she said.
It makes me think of the sock puppets. So weird. I feel like you're actually more likely to get poop on your hand with a sock
I
than
feel
you
like
would-
I have so much more poop on my hand right
with
now.
just a
thinking
big
about
wad of toilet paper would be safer.
it. Okay. Side thought. Is she taking the toilet paper with the sock puppet hand and wiping?
Yeah, but then how is she
In case it
getting? How is she
tears.
getting the poop all over the? Because he saw poop
Because-
on his socks.
It's impossible to not, right?
Wait, so if you're taking now
Sorry.
we're breaking this down.
Okay.
Okay.
So she's putting the sock on.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the toilet paper.
That's my
and then
thoughts.
yeah.
But I don't think
Because she's
so.
afraid of the toilet paper breaking.
But
Yeah.
but I don't think so because when he looked in the bag, his socks were covered in poop.
Right.
Seems like an extraneous amount of poop is what you're saying.
Like,
yeah, because
do
if you
just
have the
poop
toilet paper
so
and the
much?
sock,
You would just drop the toilet paper in the toilet and
Right,
flush
right.
it. And then like maybe you still throw the sock away, but even if it got poop on it, it wouldn't get so much that you would like,
note it. Well,
I don't know. I think that's you're wiping wrong. You are wiping wrong
Yeah.
if you are getting that much
It
poop.
also feels, if I'm honest, like a lot like a yeast infection. Because you're not throwing away that one used wipe, right? So you're probably multi-wiping with a dirty ass sock.
oh no,
That is a yeast infection if I ever
a
heard
dirty
of one.
ass sock that was used at the gym.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You have toe fungus on your jadgy.
oh no, no.
You're gonna get plantar warts on your.
Yes.
Anyway, it's fine.
No. Oh my god.
Athlete's pussy.
Oh. I hate it.
Why did I just say that? I hate myself for saying that word out
You're
loud.
gonna have to buy that spray that they spray on athlete's foot.
Desitin? Is that what it is?
I
don't
have
know.
no idea.
I hate it. Oh
my
God.
I'm sorry I said that.
No, I
I'm
love it.
not. Okay. Whew. All right. Whew. Okay, God, hard to follow. I was 18 and just out of high school when I started working my summer job at our small town's finest dining establishment, Sonic.
Amazing.
Perfect.
This was back in the time when the car hops had the option to roller skate to deliver meals. While
Doesn't
working,
sound dangerous. Sounds
right? Like, I'm
totally
just like,
fine.
We had a Sonic in our small town, and I think that at the time they had the options. Like if you wanted to,
Right.
you could roller skate from car to car, but like nobody did.
Right. Because danger.
Because danger.
Yeah.
And wearing roller skates all day through a shift. Yeah.
And
no,
carrying
thank you.
food.
Yeah. No.
Your calves would be
On point.
amazing.
Yeah, for real. While there, I met a guy. Let's call him John. John was a bit older than me, 23, and had just left high school as I was entering. I knew his cousin Julie, and his younger brother Sam was in my graduating class. Like I said, it was a small town. I had a crush on John right away. He seemed so grown up and showered me with special attention. Looking back, there were lots of red flags, but 18-year-olds are generally stupid, and in the first few months of any relationship, your brain is flooded with so many feel-good chemicals that you're basically on drugs.
Yep.
Yep.
Nailed
And she
it.
says, a parenthetical, this is why I advocate for not making any serious decisions with a significant other until at least 6 months in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't long before John and I began seeing each other. And by seeing each other, I mean that he would take me driving on dirt roads after work, and we would sit in random fields and fool around, drinking Boone's Farm and Miller High Life because both of us were
Wait.
still living with our parents.
Did I write this into you? Oh, wait. I think I know this story. I'm pretty sure I've had this life.
Yeah.
After a few months of this, I think we were both fed up with not having anywhere to go to be alone, so John decided to move out of his parents' house and in with his cousin Julie, whose roommate had just moved out. It seemed like a great idea, and at first it was. I felt so grown up, spending nights and weekends at John's, playing house, cooking meals, and dreaming of the day when John and I would inevitably marry and set up a home of our own. Did I mention I was an idiot?
No, no.
Girl,
Girl,
you're
relatable.
18.
Just 18.
That ain't, that ain't
Yeah.
idiot. That's
Relatable.
18.
Yep.
I also got along really well with Julie. The three of us would stay up nights, smoking weed together and watching movies in their living room. After a few months, I started to notice a change in John. He didn't want me coming around as much and seemed to be avoiding me at work. Every time I would ask if we could talk, it seemed like he was dodging me. Finally, he agreed to sit down with me. He met me at a local ice cream shop and told me that he needed to end things. When I asked why, he said that God had told him that we weren't supposed to be together and that we would be better as friends. What the fuck? John wasn't even religious. I mean, he was in that vague Midwestern everyone goes to church growing up and says prayers at their grandma's house kind of way, but not in a serious practicing Christian
So
kind
nervous
of way.
about where this is going.
I'm thinking the cousin.
Yes, thank you. Me too. I'm so nervous.
I was so in shock that I can't remember what I said or did. Eventually, John left, and I sat there alone in a booth crying into my melting sundae. I was heartbroken. John had been my first love. I left my job at Sonic the following week and took another job at a gas station. Both of you The energy
waiting.
coming out.
I'm
of both
so
right now.
fucking nervous right now.
ready. I'm ready for
My
it.
anxiety is so high.
My first week working there at the gas station, who comes in but John and Julie. They didn't see me at the register at first, and as they came in, I felt like something was off. They were standing just a little too close and being a little too friendly. Keep in mind that I had spent a lot of time with them by this point and was aware of how they generally interacted.
Cousins.
I watched as they moved through the store, spying on them using the mirrors on the ceiling. As they stood in the chip aisle, I saw John lean down and kiss Julie on the mouth.
Nope.
It wasn't long till they were full on making out in the gas station.
It's a small town.
No.
When they came up to pay and saw me, both of their faces went white. John took the items out of Julie's hands, placed them on the counter, and they both walked out without a word. Not long after this, word got out. John and Julie were dating. John had left me for his own cousin.
Oh my God.
What in the hillbilly hell? That was the moment that I decided, come hell or high water, I was getting out of that town.
Yes, honey. Oh my God.
I spent the rest of the summer working at the gas station before I could save enough money to move to the slightly bigger city close by. I'm not sure what happened to John and Julie, but I know that they, quote, broke up not long after. But I also know that about a year later, Julie got pregnant and no one is quite sure who the father is. So
no.
take that as you may.
Oh no. Dodged a bullet, man. Honestly.
Getting your first love dumping you for his cousin.
Listen. I actually, this is so weird. Like, I think I would be more like, all right, motherfucker. And I'd be like, 9-1, fucking 1. Like, calling everybody and be like, no, this motherfucker is doing.
Yeah, I like that she's like, word got out not long after. I'm like, I fucking bet it did. You were 18.
I like group chat.
You called your best friend immediately.
That's right. 100%. I posted on Facebook. Everyone knows.
A certain ex-boyfriend of mine just vague booking.
Yeah.
Was hooking up with his cousin. Dude.
Because God, right?
We haven't had a good mess in a while.
Yes.
The last big mess was Jason Collier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I wonder what's going on with that.
I know. I'm thinking of you, Opal. Hope you're doing well.
Opal. Thoughts and prayers, bitch.
Thoughts and prayers. Yes.
Bish. All right. Are you ready for my tainted love?
I'm ready.
Oh. All right. So I got most of my information from Killer Couples, Fox San Antonio, and mysanantonio.com.
Killer Couples.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one, guys. Oh man, per usual, I was like, started my Monday like, I got plenty of time.
Always.
And then Friday rolled around and I was like, shit.
You're writing furiously in a cold panic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Something very much along those lines. Okay. So I'm going to tell the story a little differently than the way that I was given the information because I like keeping you guys in suspense.
All right.
Ooh.
So June 18th, 2014, a rancher wakes up in the morning and his wife is like, hey, so last night I noticed a car at the edge of our property pull up. Little bit of a commotion out there. They're on like a big land. It's a rancher, right? And so she was like, I kind of noticed it, but I went back to sleep. Maybe you go out and just check it out. Make sure none of the cows got out. Anything like that. So he's making his way through the property and kind of walking along. And he finds at the edge of their property a dead body. He notices immediately that the body is... He knows it's dead, of course, right away, but he sees that it's been shot. Like, it's a male been shot in the back of the head. So, doesn't touch a thing. He's like, 9-1 fucking 1.
Yeah.
And this is outside of San Antonio, so it's Bexar County. It's pronounced Bear, apparently, but it's spelled Bexar. So, yeah, Bexar County. And so this is outside of San Antonio, and it's kind of quiet, country life living from the way it's explained. And so this is really bizarre. So they get there, they are looking around, they see the body is a body of a Latin male, and that he has not only been shot in the back of the head, but has also been shot in the stomach. So they also find like brown packaging tape on the scene. They find a car liner from a trunk, and they find like a crowbar from a trunk. And so they're, kind of deducing, obviously this person had been brought there, probably dumped, right?
Yeah.
So, but other than that, there's nothing on him that gives any information about who this body is, who it belongs to. And so they're just like, okay, like, they're literally just stumped on like who this person is. They, aren't coming up with any, in their area, there's no missing persons. So they're just like, again, who the hell could this be? So, they're just researching the stuff that they got. The fingerprints don't come back with anything. They're doing all the typical DNA stuff. But with 24 hours later, a missing report does come in to the San Antonio Police Department. So this is like basically like a county over. It's just like right next door, right? The report comes in that Xavier Cordero is a missing person. It turns out his coworkers put in a wellness check for him because this was not in his character. He was an employee at like a big box clothing store. And all his coworkers are like, okay, this is not Xavier. Like, he does not no call, no show. This is definitely bizarre behavior. We need to know what's going on. He wouldn't do this, right?
So between this and the story that I gave last week, really the moral here
Yes.
is be a reliable employee, and then people will sound the alarm right away.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Because if you're always kind of like just not showing up,
And
people will be
late.
like,
cash.
oh, that's Jeff or whatever.
Exactly.
It's fine. And then like days go by.
Yes. This turns into Christina's worst nightmare, where they find the cats eating the body however many months later.
God.
It is a nightmare.
Oh yeah, well, Christina just never shows up to stuff, so it's nothing new.
Exactly.
That will never
3
happen to
years
you.
later.
3 years later, what? This is why she never comes to my parties. So go to parties when your friends ask.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm. There you go. All right. So again, coworkers, they, are like, hey, this is person, this is out of character, et cetera, et cetera. So they go to the employer, and the employers kept fingerprints on file. And so they were able to utilize those fingerprints to match to the body. So they again, they're just like, okay, we know who this person is. So now how the fuck did he get shot and left in somebody's field out in Bexar County, right?
Yeah.
So they go to his mother's house, and they're like, we found, of course we found your son, do you have any of his stuff? Is there anything missing property that we should know about? And she's like, well, he does have a cell phone, but the cell phone plan is under my name. So she was like able to print off like his phone records, like right away, and was like, here's his phone records. So here's something you can go off from that.
There's a second story in a row where the mom does that too.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I'm coming in hot.
That's
Records
right.
in hand. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yeah. That I would too. 100. I'd be like, hold on one sec, printer. So, is there any other missing property? Things like that. And she does print out the phone log, like I said. And also when he went missing, he was driving his Mitsubishi Lancer. So they put a bolo out on his black Mitsubishi Lancer just to see if they could find it. Cause of course it wasn't at the scene. Right. So, and the mom said too, he's got this new girlfriend that he met on Facebook 3 months ago.
Red flag.
And they often spend the night together. Like, he will go and spend the night at her place, etc. And just as they're leaving mom's house, who shows up to the house but new girlfriend? And she's like, yeah, he was at my house the night that he disappeared. He left around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't heard from him since. I thought it was really weird that he left at that time. It was all very bizarre. But also too, I was also trying to reach out to him. I've been, in contact with this guy, or this person D, who's been writing really suspicious stuff to me. And I think maybe this person might be involved. And so the police are like, okay, So they go find this D on Facebook. They go to his house and they're like, hey, D, so your friend that was missing is actually dead and we didn't need to know your involvement. And then D was like, oh shit, nah, man, I was just messing around with this girl. Like, I thought it was a joke.
What?
Yeah. So that was a big red herring because it literally led nowhere. So they're like, okay, where do we go next? Right?
Can we end internet trolls?
Okay.
Like people that just
Please.
post stuff for it's
Shock
not
value,
Yeah.
or whatever. It's so obnoxious. It really is, and I don't understand.
What are you trying to fix in yourself? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What thing does that give you to like
also just
be that way?
The sheer amount of time it takes. Like
Yeah.
I posted something to my Instagram stories because Your Angry Neighborhood Feminist. There is one guy who comes back every like couple of months just to message us something nasty. Like, and it's been going on for months. And I'm just like, who has
the time?
Does he have a timer set like every like couple of weeks to be like, oh, now's the time to go and send a message? Like, it's so
Need to make sure they know I'm still around.
bizarre.
Why is it a cool thing
I don't
to
know.
upset other people?
Right. And that's really all it ended up doing because obviously this guy wasn't involved. But then you look like a fucking suspect because you're like basically harassing, talking about how,
Because you're being an asshole for
Yeah.
no reason. Didn't we talk about that a long time ago? There was this story, I think this woman was on Reddit, where she was like, I don't know what to do because I found out that my husband, who is perfect in every way and we have a great relationship, but I found out that he has like troll accounts.
Oh,
And like this is what he does in
Jesus.
his like fun, like this is what he does.
That's
Fun.
a red fucking flag.
fucking
man.
so
It's-
weird.
It is. I don't like that at all. That is a weird like anger,
Double
rage,
life, strange,
double life.
just
Yeah.
attacking strangers online,
Oof.
and you didn't know about it. Like, so weird.
It
Yeah.
is so weird. Well, June 20th rolls around. So this is 2 days later, and the bolo does lead them to the Cordero's car. So Xavier Cordero's car is found. It's found in like a big parking lot of like a shopping mall, basically, just obviously left to be abandoned. There was blood detected. The trunk liner was missing. So they were like, okay, well, whoever did this used his own car
Right.
to take him out to this, field and dump his body, right? 4 hours before his death, though, they do go back to the phone records and they're like, who was he in contact with? If the girlfriend's story is true, there's got to be some record of him around that time getting a call in which that he is leaving. So they look, and 4 hours again before his death, there is a call on his phone, and it says it's Antoinette Martinez. I tried to combine those words together, apparently. Antoinette Martinez. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Antoinette Martinez. She was born in 1995 in San Antonio, Texas. Her mother died when she was 12 years old, and she ended up living with her and her brother at their aunt's. She was very popular in high school, and despite like a really hard start in life, like she started out with kind of, that kind of a rough life beginning, right? That's pretty difficult to lose a mother at 12,
It's terrible. I mean, it's
terrible. It's
always
hard,
terrible to
of
lose
course.
a parent, but at that age, your emotions are so like all over the place anyway.
Yeah. But she seemed to really thrive at life, right? She did really well in school. She, again, super popular, started going to a community college so that she could build her way into going to a 4-year college and get her degree. She was going into like accounting, and she's just a real life path. Like, success is at her fingertips. She's hardworking. So she actually starts working at a fast food chain and quickly moves her way up into like a manager's position. Like, and she's 18 years old. So you want to talk about somebody who's hardworking. She was the person that, like, if somebody called off work, she was there. She had cover. I mean, she's
a manager at 18 is, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
well, and yeah, I mean, she's making, I'm certain, okay money, enough okay money that she's able to move out by herself and get an apartment. And at the same time, she actually met a guy that she worked with who was just like a year or two older. His name was Cameo Klein. Cameo Klein, super, I mean, like, these guys had so much fun together. It really started out as like a friendship. They always worked together, so they saw each other at work all the time. And their friendship kind of just blossomed into like, a real match, right? And so then they became boyfriend and girlfriend, and the family loved him. The family seemed really, happy for them both. They moved in together and got a great place. I mean, like, everything is really looking like up. Like, they are so happy. So when they go to see who this Antoinette Martinez is, they're like, hey, let's interview her. Let's kind of find out. So when they interview Antoinette, they're like, hey, we found this guy, Xavier. He called you right before he ended up dying. And she was like, oh my God, that's crazy. I do know him. He's actually like an ex-boyfriend. And we dated a long time ago. We dated in high school, but we also kind of just stayed friends after that. Like, so I knew him and we were friendly, but we didn't, we stopped dating after I started dating Cameo. Like this, yes, I know him. He's an acquaintance. I'm shocked that this has happened, but I can't help you. Right.
Is that her Ben Affleck?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But she's like, this is, I have nothing I can tell you. Nothing I can help you with.
What led them to her?
The phone call. So they have a phone call that leads them to her.
Okay.
And so she did say, she was like, yes, he did actually call me that night, or I actually called him that night. We did talk. He never did come over. The plan was that he was supposed to come to my house, but he never did. He never showed up. But that's
I feel like that's weird.
But she was like, that's not unlike him. That's behavior that I've experienced with him before. So.
Yeah, but I thought you weren't really on
they're friends.
Terms.
No, they were friends. They stayed friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
they
even
stayed friends.
still, this was like the middle of the night, supposedly, too. So
and
why
you're
is
at
she
your girlfriend's
calling?
house?
Yeah. Why is she
and you
calling?
left your girlfriend's house?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's suspect. I'm like,
suspect.
what's going on here?
It is suspect, but it's definitely not suspect enough for the police to get very interested in her at this time,
because
right?
it is possible. I mean, it's weird, but it's like, yeah, they could be friends. They
Yeah.
could have some weird dynamic, and
Yeah.
even if they were like hooking up or something, it doesn't mean
Right. And she has a boyfriend that she lives with. It's,
Right.
So.
Listen, if I found out that someone that I'm dating is calling an ex in the middle of the night, I have questions.
Yes.
I have questions. I'm not saying, listen, I believe people can be friends and maintain friendships and stuff, but
No.
something about having a phone call
At 2:00 in the morning?
at 2:00 in the morning to an ex,
Nah.
I have
weird.
questions.
And especially not only a phone call, like they were going to see, like you invited him over. Or something,
Yeah.
which
At
is-
2:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
and you're leaving to go to her house.
Yeah.
That's weird.
it's
Yeah.
weird.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad we're all on the same page.
Right.
But yes, again, she said that, she invited him over. This wasn't unusual, though, that he would not show up. So fast forward to June 30th. A man comes into San Antonio from New York. He's there to check out a property listing and notices a foul odor. So he's coming in from New York. He's just out there to check out a property that he's interested in. Smells a foul odor. He also discovers a male body that has been shot. And
Pardon?
the body is decomposing, and brown packaging tape is on the ankles of this man. The same type of brown packaging tape that was found at the first crime scene. This is just one of the many things that is very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops, again, are like, what in the hell is going on? Same small caliber shot, another Latino male, and the San Antonio Police Department, while the Bexar County Police were there, at the same time, were getting information about, they were informed that there was another a missing person case that they were working in San Antonio about a missing 19-year-old Stephen Rendon.
It's a honey trap. I'm calling it. That's
So-
what I'm saying.
Descriptions are matching up. 3 days missing, reported by his mother and his recent high school graduate. He was living at home. He was 19 years old, living at home with his mom. Wasn't unlike him to go out, spend time with his friends. And the last time she'd seen him was on June 25th. And she had said that he was like leaving to meet up with some friends. He was, last seen driving his orange Mitsubishi Lancer. Seems weird, right? So they're like, Jesus, do we have a serial killer on our hands? Like, this is too bizarre. Like, does somebody hate Mitsubishi Lancers and their owners? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
exactly.
It's a strange way to target someone.
And it's
for
also
sure.
not exactly like a car, I think, that
Yeah.
would be like, holy crap, we can
Need
get a
it.
bunch of money from
Yeah,
the chop shop
for
or
sure.
whatever.
No, right?
Yeah.
It's a Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi.
Calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, they put a bolo out in the car. Meanwhile, they get information about a robbery that has happened in San Antonio, and the police are like, "We think this robbery may be linked to your murders." So they're like, "Okay." Well, it turns out the day before Stephen Rendon's body was found, so on the 29th, there was an armed robbery in a San Antonio, like the gas station, like a convenience store, right? And an eyewitness followed the suspect, who shot, by the way, the attendant, shot the attendant in the face. Fucking
Jesus.
eyewitness followed him to across the street, found out what apartment he went into, and led the police right to his door.
Son, that is a brave person.
Bold.
Bold.
This guy has a gun, has shot someone, and is not worried clearly about it. So,
Wow.
yeah. And you're going to follow this guy? I mean, not all heroes wear capes. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the police arrested 20-year-old Cameo Klein, and his girlfriend Antoinette Martinez,
Really?
19, was found inside. So, Bexar County had already interviewed her, right?
Right.
And so they were like, she's definitely been on our list. So it is weird that she's being popping up again, right?
Yeah.
Well, during a search of their apartment, they found
3 Mitsubishis.
all inside the house.
Yeah.
No, they found one Mitsubishi, the orange Mitsubishi, right out front of their fucking house.
Oh, shit.
Look, man.
And they also found the license of Steve Rendon
Why are you
and
holding on to
Xavier Cordero in the tank of their toilet.
What?
They were like, yeah, just flush it.
This
Why do you
is
need to keep?
fine.
I don't
right.
know why you
I
would
don't.
keep any of this.
This
Yeah.
to me, that sounds very serial killer-y, right? Like you're
Like
keeping a
trophies.
trophy.
Yeah.
It like this very much. We'll talk about it, but it just feels very much like this is okay. Never mind. All right. They found the 25 caliber handgun that was used in the robberies, which they're hoping now they can link to the bodies as well.
Right.
Both were arrested on suspicion of murder, and Antoinette denies it, but there is evidence of their being there. She's like, no, they definitely weren't there. They're like, oh, that's weird because
Oh, really?
dude's car is here, and look what we found in the tank of the toilet. Hi.
Yeah. Would you
Hi.
find him on the sidewalk? Like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
And decided to flush them down the toilet. You're like,
Well, not even like hide them in the
Hide them
toilet
in the tank.
tank.
Oh,
the
not
tank.
even in the bowl.
Yeah.
I was picturing like in the bowl
tried to
of the
flush
toilet.
them.
Like they tried to flush them. Oh my god.
No,
No.
so they're obviously, yeah.
Yeah, they're keeping trophies.
You're trying
I'm
to
sorry.
hold on to it. Yeah,
That's some trophy keeping shit.
Yeah.
really
That's
weird.
some real serial killer trophy keeping shit. I don't care how you look at it. That to me is just such a. It's spooky. Antoinette finally does confess though that she was overworked and not paid enough.
And that made you murder somebody?
Well, she was very upset. She had worked so hard. This is her talking to the police.
Honey.
And she's like literally you can watch the interview and she's like kind
was
of
just
like,
real
it's
sleepy.
So
It's like,
fucking
okay.
weird, dude. Like she's like, so we may have shot him to like dead. To
For
death.
what?
For
Because
why?
these were both like 19-year-olds that were living with their parents. So what the fuck is the point of murdering them? They couldn't have gotten that much money.
This whole thing started because she didn't feel like she was getting paid enough for all the work she was doing. So Cameo and her were both like, you're right. This is fucking crazy. Why aren't you getting paid enough? We need more money. We need to be able to pay bills. So they started stealing from the restaurant, which turned into them being like, well, what other way can we make money? And she's like, you know what we can do? We can rob people. That will do it. And I know the first person we'll start with, my ex-boyfriend Xavier always carries stacks of money on him. And I know that I can get him to come over to our house. And that's what she did. She honey trapped him into the house.
Oh, I fucking knew it was a honey trap.
Took him into the bedroom, promising a real kinky night when here comes Cameo. Well, Cameo didn't expect Xavier to fight back. I don't think as aggressively as he did. So what ended up happening is they hit him over the head pretty hard so that they could get him under control. So they did find blood in the apartment, and that's what that's from. Now, when they put him in the trunk, they'd use the tape to tape him up. But it looks like that what happened is when they got to the dumping site, he wasn't dead. He'd gotten himself probably out of his tapes, probably had the crowbar in hand and was ready to fight back.
And that's what she heard in the house. The person who lived in that ranch house. Yeah.
Oh, sure. And then so probably was shot in the stomach and then as he was trying to run away, shot in the back of the head. So that's likely the scenario for Xavier. Now,
listen, it's hard and it's scary. But if you don't like your job, you don't feel like you're making enough money or whatever, there are like 107 different things I can think of for you to do before you have to resort
to killing someone.
Yeah.
Right. And she was smart enough and a hard enough worker to become a manager before the age of 20. She definitely could have applied herself to something else. Like, you know, and it worked her way up. Absolutely. She had the skills to do that. And then to go after teenagers is the dumbest thing. Like,
yeah, it just almost makes me feel like that is just
money.
an excuse. The money's just an excuse because she actually it's
enjoys
deeper
this.
rooted.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that because this is such a good killer couple story that like I was just like this. They definitely there is that thing. Remember we talked about before, like when two people meet.
Folie à deux.
Yeah, there's just like something about it that clicks a button that triggers both people into a wild.
Right, if they'd maybe never met each
That's
other,
right.
it
Maybe
would
not.
never have gone down like that.
Right.
Possibly.
If she'd have met somebody who was like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get to that point. But I wanted to tell you that. So again, the reason he was targeted is because he always carries money on him. She said that during the interview, like how much money did he have? Had no more than 100 or no less than 125 and no more than 150.
That's
you killed somebody for the price of a pair of Nikes. Like it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and the fact that they kept trophies and stuff. And I'm of the opinion for the folie à deux thing. I do think that people that get involved in crimes like that would have committed some sort of destructive criminal behavior anyways without meaning it. Because that stuff's inside you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were to get with somebody that's like, I feel like murder, you'd be like 911. You won't have that stuff to be like,
but I agree with you, but I do think that there are some people who have it inside them who will never
act on it
until they meet somebody else who does say,
who condones
like,
it.
Hey, we could do this together. And then you're like, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's because I do think that there are cases that I've read about where I'm just like, I feel like this person is an evil motherfucker, but I don't know that anybody would have known that if they hadn't gotten with somebody who
think about any stupid little thing that you've done when you were a teenager, right? There's a lot of dumb stuff I got into because I was talked into it by a friend, like dumb things, like just
right, not murder,
but
I stole a pack of cigarettes from a giant eagle
because of a friend. Yeah.
I mean, and there is that, like, they do say that you are more likely to commit violent acts in groups of people than you would be on your own. Like, you know, if you have
there's
a group
something
of
about somebody
people,
saying it's okay.
Right, condoning that
behavior that makes you
think
feel
it's not as weird,
gives you freedom, right?
Right, yeah.
So with Stephen Rendon, he'd actually met her on Meetup app, and she told Cameo she'd found a new victim. This is exactly how she describes it too. So saying that I found a new victim doesn't sound like somebody you just want to rob for their money, right? So she tells him that she wants to try something new. So she's changing her tactics a little bit.
Gross.
He comes in the bedroom. She's like, I want to try something new. I want to tie you up with this brown packaging tape around your ankles and your wrists. And they do, of course. And then out comes Cameo to take him of all of his $5
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's not about the money.
It's not about money at all.
$5.
You wouldn't go after
interview,
18-year-olds if it was about money.
No. And in the interview, she was like, the cops even were like, it clearly wasn't about the money, of course, but like she's like, and I was so mad that all he had was $5 on it. I'm like, were you?
Yeah.
Were you? Is that what it was about? Maybe that was a bonus.
Yeah.
Maybe that was bonus material for you, but that's not where this is rooted.
Right.
She even said in the interview, she was like, she describes themselves as a a new Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, okay.
She's completely without remorse. Like, you can literally hear
That's
in her
terrifying.
tone. It's terrifying to listen to. And she's using words like next victim, like I said. So like, she's definitely thinking in a completely different way. Well, they wanted to try a tactic when they were interviewing Cameo. So instead of just going in and interviewing Cameo right away, they actually put her in the room with him. So Antoinette goes into the room. They're both cuffed. And they're just like, they start like giggle laughing at each other.
That's creepy.
Giggle laughing and are like, and he's like, you're going to go to prison for blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go to prison for this and ha, ha, ha.
That
And
is
they're
so fucking scary.
laughing. And they're like, this is not what we hoped would happen in this. So they separate them. The police come in to interview. Cameo's on the fucking floor in like a fetal position crying. I mean, like, you're talking about like together.
Some highs and lows.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like, you saw them together and it was like, this is Bonnie. We're Bonnie and Clyde. We're natural born killers. You know what I mean? Like,
And then as soon as you removed her, it was like all of his courage or whatever
Gone.
conviction went away.
gone.
It's like somebody that's going to wake up a couple weeks into his prison sentence and be like,
Yeah. The fuck.
Yeah, and I feel
Yeah.
like that
But he
does
also
happen
shot
a
a man in the face. That
Yeah.
man lived, but still.
yeah.
I mean, you're not necessarily without remorse either, but I think the gravity of what just happened maybe is hitting you a little more seriously.
Well, I mean, and, you know, kind of like what the woman from my story said, it's like new relationships and like what happens to like the chemicals that go off in your brain whenever you're
Yeah.
in love with somebody and it's like brand new. It is like this weird like drug. You know what I mean? And it's not at all saying like he's not responsible for the
No,
shit that
for
he
sure.
did at all. But like judging by the way that they are together and
Yeah.
the way that they are separately, I'm sure they were riding on this like weird, or at least he was like this weird relationship high.
Absolutely. I definitely think that there was for sure a lot of that involved. There definitely was some weird codependency
Yeah.
things going on. It's all very bizarre. But anyway, Antoinette ends up pleading innocent when they go to court.
Okay.
Because but she is found guilty and receives a life sentence for the murders and her involvement. Cameo took a plea deal. He's like, yeah, no, I did it and I'm sorry. And he also received a life sentence, but he will be able to parole by the age of 49.
Wow. That is
Good story. Oh, killer
Horrifying.
couples.
Yeah.
oh, that is so scary.
It took me a long time to find a story this week, and I know I feel like I always say that, but I was like, it took me a long time, but then when I decided that I was like, I kind of want to focus on something in this vein, I found that story like right away, and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine like losing a child or a sibling or anyone at 18, 19.
Fresh out of high school, the
It's
whole
just
life
such
ahead
a
of them.
tragedy. Yeah.
Well, and this is something that I think of too, especially recently when I started dating and everything like that. Again, is is this person bringing out my best traits? Is important to me because I don't really know what I believe, but I do think for sure that this is the only time that I get to go around this planet
Sure.
as Christina. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So I want to try to be the best person that I can be, and that was a big realization I think after my divorce was like in a lot of ways that marriage made me not the best version of myself that I could.
Marriage to that person.
Yes, to
Yeah.
that person. Yeah. So it was important to me when I started dating and everything again that this person makes me
Better.
strive to
Yeah.
be better, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
always, I think, an important thing to think of. Your partner shouldn't be, I mean, this is an extreme case, of
Yeah,
course.
of
This is
course.
what the
Yeah.
tainted love thing. Your partner shouldn't be coercing you into murder or
No.
whatever. But, little things like, little things.
Yeah.
If you examine it in yourself, like I feel like that's an important question to ask yourself in any relationship is if that person is is making you the best version of yourself.
And I think the thing is too is that you spent enough time alone to know what the best version of you looks like, and that's very important. I think that's something that not everyone has done, so it makes it more difficult when it comes to finding the person that's going to support those good behaviors.
And I feel like there's been a lot of talk on this episode specifically about like being really young too. And it's just like when you're 18 and 19 you don't know at all what that's going to look like. You haven't lived enough life to know that. Your brain is still developing and you've got all kinds of like weird shit going on. So I think there were a lot of factors to this.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, like it happens all the time with adult relationships too. I mean, there's tons of like adult killer couples. But I think that there's an element to that. And maybe it's just fresh on my mind because I wouldn't have done anything like this, of course. But like, again, like reading.
But it was easier to talk me into dumb shit at 18 and 19.
100%. And like reading.
For love.
And also just like reading who I was and who I am now. Like, I don't think you necessarily know what the best version of yourself is.
Yeah.
Some people do. I'm not saying like
no,
across the board, but like
even
in general.
still, like if there's somebody that's you know, even being like, murder's an extreme case, but like if you know, like for me, like I have to be very careful about my drinking, you know, where I know I want to be with somebody that's really in control and adult about it, because for me it's a slippery slope. And so like I look for that in a partner, somebody that it's important to me. It may not be the same for other people.
That's right.
But it's little things like that.
Yeah.
Also, murder. That's a big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I feel
It's a
like
big one. I feel like if-
maybe start packing your bags.
Yeah.
I feel like if Eric tried to talk you into murdering somebody, you'd think pretty hard about it first, at least.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, cool. I gotta go get something in the car real quick. I'll be right back. Pulling out. What are we watching this week besides killer couples?
Well, I started The Nevers on HBO.
Yeah.
It's good. I really like it.
Nice.
I want to see that.
Cassie, I really feel like you would like it.
Okay.
Although it's a period show, so Christina, maybe you would also like it.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, I don't know. I'll put it on my...
If you liked Penny Dreadful, the first one, like the original one, Victorian England, Penny Dreadful, this has kind of similar vibes, but it also has kind of like X-Men vibes.
Okay.
Interesting.
You know, it's very interesting, and it's a lot of action. It's more action than Penny Dreadful was. Like, it's a lot of...
I heard that was boring. I never watched it.
I liked it. I watched it.
I like the
liked
first
it.
season. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying that one. I would recommend it.
Okay. Good to know.
I finished Generation Hustle, which I loved. Love,
so good.
Love a scam. But this week I think we've been watching like a lot of like weird movies. I've been going to bed super early since I started my new job.
Job.
And I can't really like make it past 8:30 where I'm like, I'm tie. But last night, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this movie, but this is true love. Like, I was tired, we made dinner, and Eric's like, let's put on something, you know, while we're eating to watch. And he's like, oh, I really want you to see this movie. And he put on this movie called Time Bandits.
I
was like,
go on.
What the fuck is going on right now? This is the weirdest kids movie.
No,
It's-
ma'am.
It's very strange. It's like there's like 7 little people that God like fired.
What?
They worked in the tree department making
Wait.
trees.
But-
Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
No.
It's
What?
a Terry Gilliam movie. And it's like a kid's movie. The main kid in it looks like the kid from Neverending Story. So 7 little people get fired by God from the tree department.
Cool.
And then
Yeah, it makes
they
sense.
steal a map of the universe that has like holes in time. So then their plan is to rob people like Napoleon and Agamemnon. And
Someone
Sean Connery's
was on
in it.
shrooms when they came up with this
in
concept.
the fuck? This writer's room was like, I got ideas.
I got ideas. So yeah, we watched that, and then I told you guys the night before we watched Falling Down, which I hadn't seen in forever, which does not
Feel
hold
like
up
that
to the modern
movie would
eye.
fill me with
So much rage,
right? Yeah.
lots of rage.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. So yeah, we've been kind of like on an old weird movie kick, and then I watched some movie with like Keanu Reeves and Renee Zellweger called The Whole Truth.
Huh.
It's a courtroom drama.
I love a courtroom drama.
I love a courtroom
really do.
drama. This one's not great.
You know what I
but
started?
Keanu's in it.
You know what I started last night, but haven't finished yet. But I'd never seen it before, and it was on Netflix. Mystic Pizza.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it. I watched half of it,
Oh
and then
my
I got
gosh.
super sleepy, and I'm gonna finish it tonight. But it's cute.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
I like it
yeah,
so
yeah,
far.
Yeah.
Right on.
So yeah, what about you?
I haven't watched shit because I have had the busiest week and I still have all the homework to do tonight. So I'm like I'm just so behind. I feel like this week got like way from me so fast.
Yeah.
I did, however, I started reading that book I told you last week. I finished the book that Kelly from
Yeah.
Boobies and Newbies
Yeah.
recommended. Blame It on the Champagne.
Yes.
So good. It's super
Yeah.
cute. Did you read it?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It was good. It's spicy.
It's spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's an erotic novel. right?
yeah.
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 It was good.
Well, hey, if you guys have books we should read or anything that we should watch, if you have stories, we definitely, I know COVID is winding down. People are getting back out there.
I can't wait because people are wilding.
Wilding out with Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.